What's up, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of the Falcons in Focus podcast presented by Ticketmaster. I'm Scott Bair. That's Terrin, Waack, the man of the hour. Falcons, safety. And as you can tell, Terrin is an Alabama alum, and she wore a special sweatshirt for safety DeMarcco Hellams. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Roll Tide, baby.
Oh, my gosh. There's going to be so many Georgia fans hating this.
I know.
I can see the YouTube comments right now. What's up with that sweatshirt? What's up with that sweatshirt?
Okay.
What's up with that sweatshirt?
This is the one player I can do it for on this team right now.
Exactly. Before we get to a lot of fun stuff, I do need to let you know that Ticketmaster is the official ticket provider of the Atlanta Falcons and the NFL. So whether you're going to see the Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium or away, please make sure to log on to Ticketmaster.com/Falcons. That's Ticketmaster.com/Falcons. DeMarcco, I want to go back in time just a little bit. Mm-hmm. You're not that old, so we can't go back that far. But
The day you were born.
the day you were born. But I kind of did a deep dive into your high school career, like a really deep dive. So take me back to, it's the, I believe you're a senior. Mm-hmm. It's the semifinals over Good Counsel, and you played at DeMatha High School in Hyattsville, Maryland, which is, you're from Washington, D.C. That's what, maybe 10, 15 miles outside the city.
Yeah, very close.
And DeMarcco played for a juggernaut, so everybody knows. Okay.
Yeah, I
did. So in the semifinals, while playing defensive back and wide receiver, and apparently on special teams, your man had 2 touchdowns on offense, 2 interceptions, and blocked a punt that resulted in a safety, accounting for 14 of DeMatha's 34 points, not counting PATs. Is that like as locked in as you've ever been? Like, what do you remember from that time? Because that's such a huge game. You have a chance to go to the finals, and you were obviously in a zone there.
I just remember just thinking back to my junior year. We didn't really have a good season, especially for my high school standards. We lost in the playoffs. Didn't have a good enough record as we should have. And going into that next year, going into the playoffs, we had good counsel. And I just wanted to make sure that we was playing in the championship game. So I just knew that, whatever I had to do, whether it was on offense, on defense, special teams, I just knew that whatever plays I had to make, that it was going to result in us getting back to the championship game.
I mean, and that's exactly what happened. And we're going to go over I have all of your high school stats, and they're massive. And normally this is a podcast full of positive memories. So I hate to bring up a bad one, but I watched.
I know what comes next.
I watched a video on YouTube called 45 Seconds of Madness, which refers to DeMatha against Gonzaga. And to watch the last 45 seconds of that game, there was 3 lead changes, right? To go back and forth. Unfortunately, y'all ended up losing that game. But what I think what fascinated me is the quarterback on the other side was Caleb Williams from Oklahoma/USC/ presumptive #1 pick. So you have 2, kids who end up going to juggernaut schools. That must have been as hyped of a game, going into it, and an experience as you can have in that area, probably, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a great experience to be in that game. Being able to compete against guys like Caleb, and just seeing, as he is a little bit younger than me, just seeing how he came up, coming to the DeMatha football camps when he was younger, just how he came up as a freshman at Gonzaga, and it was just good to see him where he is now, and just knowing that that's where he would be playing those games back then. We all saw the potential that he had. So it's exciting, to look back at those high school memories, and it's unfortunate that I was on a losing end of those games.
And it was so close, yeah.
But it's definitely great to look back and know that that high school game, one of the best ones of all time, had some great players, and I was one of them, and Caleb was as well as some other guys.
So you said it was 45 seconds of madness?
Yeah.
Did it feel like 45 seconds or 45 minutes out there?
Oh, it felt like 45 minutes. It felt, emotions were up and down, because we had to lead the whole game. Got out to a big lead early. They started to come back, and, we just tried to hold on. And at the end of the game, they scored, and I guess they thought they had a game-winning touchdown. We had that never end mentality on our side of the ball. So, we took back the kick, and then you got people on our side who thought the game was over, and some of us are telling, man, the game ain't over. They have a good quarterback on their side. He can throw the ball 70 yards, and that's what he did.
Is that like the most back and forth quick finish that you've been a part of?
That was definitely the craziest game I've ever been a part of.
Wow.
Until I got to Alabama.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to get to the Alabama thing really soon, and Terrin
I've
can
been
lead
waiting
that
for
conversation. Another interesting thing, besides the fact that your senior year you had 78 catches for 1,400 yards, 21 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, including 3 returned for a score, and 91 tackles.
Casual.
So you're playing like 120 snaps or something. You're playing a crazy amount of snaps, right? How do you survive Friday nights doing all that?
In high school, it was really just a dog mentality. I came into high school at receiver, so that was kind of my natural position. Started to play safety just on some rotational things. Some guys, it was an open spot, and I loved just to be on the field. So I took that spot as well. Just being able to play both ways is just something I've been doing when I was in Little League. So in high school, really nothing changed for me as far as wanting to have the ball in my hands and also wanting to hit. And my team, they wanted me to do it, and I was one of the best guys doing it. So it wasn't like I was taken away from anybody else. It was something that I was doing to help my team, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it's one last high school fact. I told you I went down a rabbit hole. You had what must have been really cool. You got to play receiver with your brother. You were a sophomore. He was a senior, right?
Yeah.
Delonte?
Yeah, that's my brother.
Who went on to a Stony Brook. But what's that experience like? You've got your brother on the opposite end of the formation. You guys are playing the same position, winning ball games. Tell us about that.
It was great. Just knowing that my brother is somebody that I look up to. He's always been a great example for me, on and off the field. And my parents definitely took pride in that a lot. Part of one of the reasons they want us to go to the same high school, because we weren't close enough in age where we played on the same football team.
Right.
But those 4 years in college, we got to be together for 2 of those. And every time, we were out there on offense on different sides of the field, my mom always made sure that she snapped the picture. She's having her boys out there at the same time was definitely something that she took pride in, my dad as well. So it was definitely good to, be able to play with my brother in high school. Just be able to share the field with him, something I always wanted to do.
Did one wear your number and the other wear your brother's?
Oh, no, they just wore DeMarcco shirts. Yeah, they just wore DeMarcco shirts. They didn't want to wear DeMarcco and another team's shirt. So as long as we went to DeMarcco, it was all good.
I read, I think you were quoted in a story about him that you got to see the journey of a high school kid getting recruiting letters and those types of things, and that you actually maybe went on some unofficial visits with him. Like, what was that experience like? Like, as your brother's going through it, ends up at Stony Brook, but you're this young kid who gets to see somebody a couple years and gets to kind of experience it that way.
Yeah, it's definitely great. Just having him there as an example. Just tagging along with him on unofficial visits, going to camps. Just being out there, I remember a camp specifically where he was out there competing, and I'm just sitting on the sideline. I asked my dad, I want to go out there, and I find a helmet, find some cleats, and I'm in the 7th, 8th grade going against college guys.
Oh, wow.
And I'm out there competing, doing my job well, and honestly, I got an offer in 8th grade from the University of Maryland. Just because, I was at a camp with my brother. Yeah. And, I just went out there and I did good enough where, they offered me a scholarship in the 8th grade. So just my brother being there is definitely a huge part of my journey, just because as he was doing everything, I was right behind him. So I just had a 2-year head start.
That's crazy. He's an 8th grader with a scholarship.
Seriously.
I know it's a thing, but
and it was
blows my mind.
I've read conflicting reports. It was either 25 or 28 scholarship offers by the time you were all said and done.
Yeah, it was. I honestly stopped counting, but it was over 20 for sure.
All right, now we're gonna get to it.
And we know which one he landed at.
And we know he landed at Alabama.
Yes.
So there's got to be a recruiting origin story.
How? Why?
It's hard to tell.
From DC.
It's hard to tell Nick Saban no. But it started off with Coach Loxley. Coach Loxley was one of the guys at Maryland when I got my first offer in 8th grade. So, we kind of had a bond. He had a bond with my dad. He's from the area.
Mm-hmm. He's a great dude.
Yeah, he's definitely a great dude. He had a bond with my dad, for a long time. And when he went to University of Alabama as their receiver coach and OC, we kept in touch. He recruited me. I let him know that I was interested in Alabama because, it was always one of the schools that I grew up watching. And I went down there for a visit after they offered me. And I came back for another visit in the summertime for an official visit. It was no students, just football going on. I just wanted to focus in on what football had to offer for me. And got to see the guys compete. I hear a lot of stories about, Alabama's this, guys don't play, it's hard, and things like that. But coming from my high school, I know a lot of people aren't used to what I'm used to, so I kind of just wanted to see for myself. And going down there, I saw how they practiced, saw how Coach Saban coached, saw all the jerseys, all the NFL, alumni that played DB coming out of there, because I knew I wanted to play DB in college. And I went to Coach Saban. He sat me in his office. He just talked to me, let me know what his plan was for me, that, I'm just coming in here with a scholarship, he doesn't do any promises, no jersey number, no things like that. And, that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to work for what I had. And he showed me his rings. I got to try on all the championship rings. And,
Did you really?
Yeah, I got to put all the rings on. And, I'm somebody that likes winning. So, I won in high school. I came from, a good program. And, I wanted to be around more guys, that wanted to win. So, that's how, I got to Alabama. I wanted to compete for national championships.
Were you surprised by him at all, Nick, the first time you met him?
I wouldn't say surprised. It was kind of just like, this is, like, actually Nick Saban. Like, I'm really shaking Nick Saban's hand, just being a little kid, ever since I started watching football, he's always been a staple in Alabama. How guys go from different colleges and things like that, but Saban's somebody at Alabama that's always been consistent. It's always going to be Alabama, as long as Coach Saban's there. So, I really appreciated that as well. How, a lot of coaches, they move on different jobs, for themselves or for their families. It's nothing against them, but I really appreciate how Coach Saban is always there. And how he's one-on-one with the DBs,
Yeah, that's his background.
Yeah, he's very hands-on with the DBs, and I honestly couldn't pass that up. As a DB, as somebody who knows like where I wanted to be, as far as the next level. I knew Alabama, and Coach Saban gave me the best chance for that.
Had Loxley left by the time you got there? Because he's now the head coach at Maryland, right?
Yeah, he had.
Did y'all overlap, or did he leave before you got there?
No, he left before I got there. But I was. I was already committed. My mind was already made up. That's where I wanted to be.
And you got a chance to try on the rings when you were a high school kid committing, but then you added a couple more to the collection, right?
Got my own rings.
Yeah, you got your own, and so you go to Alabama. You plan on the goal is to win a lot and win national titles. And you just think of I'm from California, and even on the other side of the country, Alabama represents, like, sorry Georgia fans, but for a long time has represented the class of college football. So
Ooh, now who's in trouble?
So what I'm saying is, like, you must have been you're scrutinized every time that you don't win by 20, right? And then you win the national title after all that work, after being guaranteed nothing, right? And then you contribute heavily to one of them. What's that experience like? All the confetti's coming down. You finally realize this dream that you've had. Put us in that moment.
It's kind of like when people say, that they reached the mountaintop. It's a grind, playing in the SEC, playing, under Coach Saban. Just playing in that environment where, you're expected to win and you're expected to perform, well every time you step out there, you're really expected to be perfect, even though you won't. So, when you do get to that point where, you win and, you get everything that you've been working for, the rings, you get all the glory, it's definitely, there's people out there that cry, I definitely shed a tear, when I won my national championship, just because, all your hard work paid off. For at least a year, nobody can say anything to you. And you just know that, you know, it's something that'll last forever. You know, I still remember, you know, all the big games that I played in. You know, I can name all 10 guys that were right next to me. So it's definitely a lasting memory. I think that's a big part of it, you know, because, you know, when you play Alabama and you win a national championship, your name goes on the Walk of Champions. So you win a national championship, your name is at Alabama forever.
That's a good.
I caught a misspelling on one of the Waack of Champions.
Only Terrin.
It got fixed.
So, okay, now this is according to Jordan Battle. All right. He says the nickname DeMarcco Hitman Hellams was bestowed by you. Did you give yourself your own nickname?
I don't remember.
It's like, if I did, I take it back.
But it's fitting, though, because another quote is that, you know, if you're not on my team, I'm not going to spare you. Like, that's your approach to the game, right, is physicality and getting after it. Is that kind of how you are on the field? Yeah,
that's kind of how I am on the field. You know, just because I feel like I'm the complete opposite off the field. You know, I really see myself as somebody that's really laid back and chill. But when I'm on the field, you know, it's kind of like a switch that flips, you know, whereas, you know, my guys versus their guys, you know, it's kind of that mentality, you know, where, you know, there's 11 of us on the field. There's 11 of you guys. So, you know, we all have our one-on-one battles. And I honestly know that at the end of the day, you know, these are the guys that I work out with, I meet with, you know, I shed blood, sweat, and tears with. So these are the guys that I'm going to go to war with. You know, all the guys that are on the other side, I'm sorry, but I really don't feel for you until after the game.
That's great. Before we wrap up, we have to get to a completely non-football related question about a certain friend of yours.
Your dog.
Oh, my God.
Is he Nino because he's your son?
No, I just call him Nino. I just like this name.
Oh, because did you know Nino is son in Spanish, though?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I needed to know. Dude, the dog has massive ears.
Yeah.
What kind of dog is it?
He's an Exo-American bully. I had him since he was 16 weeks, so everybody that knows me, you know, I treat him just like my son.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's spoiled. You know, he gets the best of everything, but, you know, he's a great dog, so he deserves it.
His ears are like...
Yeah, they poke right up.
Straight up. So when did you get the dog?
I got him in 2022.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is roaming the streets of Georgia right now or what?
No, he's at home. He's at home holding the house down.
Yeah.
He'll be waiting
roaming
for
the streets.
He'll be ready to, you know, every time I walk back home, you know, he's definitely excited to see me, so I'm glad.
Was that a post-graduation, like, present to yourself?
Oh, no, I got him after the season in 2022. I actually had labrum surgery. You know, I was like, man, I just need a friend.
Oh.
He just came around in perfect time.
That is so sweet.
That is great. Just need a friend. That's going to be a good way to end it. DeMarcco, thank you so much for the time. And thanks to everybody for joining the Falcons in Focus podcast presented by Ticketmaster. Please do what you do. Rate, review, and subscribe to the Atlanta Falcons Podcast Network and subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Falcons. I think it's just /Atlanta Falcons after YouTube. So thank you so much to Terrin, to DeMarcco. Appreciate you. And we will be back again next week with another awesome guest. See ya.